It's Richard Haggerty here. Look, here's why you've got to change from being a smoker who's trying to quit to being a non-smoker. All right. I'd like to talk today about why you must change, why you've got to make this change from being a smoker who's trying to quit to being a non-smoker. All right. In essence, you have to change your mindset. You've got to change from a smoker who's trying to quit to a new identity. Because as long as you regard yourself as a smoker, you'll spend your time fighting the urge to return to really what you're used to. In other words, you need to rewire your brain to change the way you think about smoking. The good news is this is a lot easier than you might think. All right, it's not as hard as you think, but it's going to require some, shall we say, some brain surgery. So let's have a look at what we mean by brain surgery in this regards. Your brain has become very used to you seeking, shall we say, dopamine hits from smoking. Okay, so there's a sense of anxiety about the anticipation of something that's going to happen. This causes it causes kind of like our brain to sort of misattribute the actual addiction, should we say, the psychological addiction, the psychological pull to have something, as something that the actual doing the actual activity will give to us. All right, it's this vicious kind of cycle that the anxiety is actually caused, and research is showing this now. The anxiety causes a person to smoke in anticipation of the relief that they're going to get from the anxiety that's caused by them thinking about smoking. Can you see this vicious circle that people get stuck in? That's how their brains are wired. The good news is we know that there's this thing called brain plasticity. So you can literally change the architecture of your brain. And the way that you change the architecture of your brain is by the way that you use your attention. It's a really, really fascinating thing, but we know that people have developed different types of activities in their brain, or should we say different brain architecture, from whether they're paying attention to sounds or whether they're more trained to pay attention to images or something else. Depending on the way that we use our brain, the brain will kind of update its inner software to accommodate that. It's really, really interesting. Obviously, that kind of thing happens with say, should we say, stroke victims, where they're able to start to use and retrain other parts of their brain. We want to use this mechanism positively to help you become a non-smoker, because the challenge is that your brain and your body have got used to things being a particular way. Okay, you've got used to these kind of impulses driving you, and thinking that the smoking is essential for you to really to be able to get by. Okay, and then what develops around that are a series of psychological protection mechanisms, and a sense that, you know, a real strong feeling that this is my crutch, I need this to survive. It's like a friend, you know, it's like my support. What am I going to do without it? Okay, and of course, if you feel that something's your lifeline, you're not going to want to give it up. And so we've got to be very, very careful to make sure that you have all the support you need internally to be able to make this shift to being a non-smoker. Okay, so it's this internal shift that's absolutely crucial to making the change. To make the change and make a lasting change, therefore, is always going to require us to go inside. Since we know that the quality of our attention and the way that we direct our attention affects the architecture of the brain will literally start to change in response to the way that we use it, the way that we use our perception, the way that we linger on things, the attention, the quality of our attention, and the length, the duration of the attention. We can use those mechanisms to help a person change by leveraging spontaneous subconscious openings. All right, and that's really what we do in our sessions, which is why we get such quick results in, you know, 20 minutes, 10 minutes even, with long-time smokers, because there's no script. All right, we're working with your brain. We've always got to work with your brain and where it's at. so that you can update and become a non-smoker. You see, there's a choice, basically. You either stay a smoker who has cravings but is resisting cigarettes and has constant FOMO that they're missing out on it and worried whether they're going to get back on it and feeling like they've got to pull a ton of willpower to stay a non-smoker. Um, or you can actually be a non-smoker and just not think about it at all. All right. And the thing is, there's this wellspring, it's almost like a dam inside you of all this powerful energy that's related to smoking. Okay. And it's being sort of held in place by a belief that it's essential for you to have that habit to be able to meet those needs. Once your unconscious mind knows that there's no need for the habit to fulfill those needs, the dam opens and all that energy is free again. You are free of the habit. The beautiful thing about being free of the smoking habit is that all the energy that you got from guilt and regret and trying to hold back, and all the willpower you were using and all the planning that you had to put in place to be able to smoke during the day, you reclaim instantly all that energy. Then you get all the creative energy back of being able actually to be free. All the energy that's freed up from that now gets multiplied. So it turns into a huge wellspring of confidence and good feeling inside yourself, let alone the money you're saving, let alone the health benefits and all that other stuff. Okay. And as that changes, as the big emotion changes, your brain will change in response to it. And it can happen very, very quickly. Okay. And I hear this all the time from clients who quit smoking. So you can quit smoking actually very quickly by leveraging spontaneous subconscious moments, changing the focus of your attention, and freeing up all the energy that's inside. All right. And most people don't know how possible this is, how easy this can be. Okay. Even hypnotists, coaches, people who've been NLPers, people who've been working with stop smoking, they don't realize how simple it can be to help get a person to the point of change by leveraging the openings that the unconscious mind provides. And that's really what we do with our clients, is train them very, very quickly to be able to notice that, take charge of their attention, retrain it so it's done automatically without almost any effort at all. And at that point, cravings go and you know you're a non-smoker. And that's the beautiful thing, because listen, if you don't change, if you don't have a way to change and retrain your attention, okay, you just end up like so many people who are addicted to mobile phones these days, using smoking in the same way. Their attention just wanders. They have some weird craving or impulse or some random impulse that could be hunger, could be boredom, not really sure. They'll either go and eat something or go and smoke something. All right. When you change and retrain your attention, what happens is everything becomes effortless. Non-smokers don't have to think about this. They just are non-smokers. All right. But if you don't do anything, if you don't make that decision that you're going to change and you're going to do it the easy way, well, then you've got a lifetime of the hard way. You've got a lifetime of cravings and worry and regret and doubt to look forward to. So don't be the person who spends their life trying to quit smoking. Be the person, be that rare person that makes a decision and gets educated and just does it. Because if you don't do anything, you have all the consequences that we know from smoking. From, the average person smoking starts at 15, they spend over $200,000 in their lifetime, they on average live 9 years less. You don't want to be that person who has that worry. We know it affects Alzheimer's, it affects dementia. You don't want to be that person, okay? You want to be the rare person who says, okay, enough is enough. I know that I want to change. I know that it's important to change. I have my personal reasons for this. I'm going to find the best support possible. I'm going to maximize my chances and I'm going to become a non-smoker today.